Alright guys, I am back with another TV show review, and today is the first episode of Dexter Season 7. This is one of my favorite shows on TV. It's the only reason I order Showtime. I think it's just such a great show that it's worth the $10.95 a month just to watch Dexter. And it's a huge first episode. Just the stuff going on. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you haven't seen the episode or the ones leading up to it, this is going to be some major spoilers going on here, because this was a crazy episode, and I would hate to spoil this for anybody. I couldn't imagine getting this show spoiled for me. I know some people had season 4 spoiled for them, and that would have really pissed me off. So I want to warn everybody firsthand that there will be spoilers. But this was a huge first episode, and of course it starts off where the last one ended, with Deborah seeing Dexter kill Travis Marshall. And she's come close to finding out that Dexter's the killer, but she's never actually seen it. And this is, there's no bones about it. She's seen it now. She knows who he is. Or at least she's seen him murder someone else. And I'm just thinking, how's he going to get out of this? Well, he tries to talk his way out of this, and it's not going to work. I mean, he's trying to explain himself. He says that he was investigating the church, like Deborah told him. Travis Marshall came at him with a sword, and it was self-defense. Except Travis Marshall is wrapped in plastic, and Dexter's wearing an apron, different clothes, has his own knives, and Deborah's just, I don't know if she's disoriented, and that's why she's not really questioning all of this, or she just wants to believe Dexter. But she's kind of believing the self-defense, but she's also questioning everything at the same time. It's just a horrible position for her to be in. So Dexter says, I could take the body, I can put it in the car, and I can go dump it. And she says, no, we can't do that, because if you get caught with the body, it's just going to make everything much worse. So Dexter says, well, I could set the church on fire, and it'll look like Travis Marshall couldn't go through with his doomsday plan, so he killed himself, and it'll burn away all the evidence. And she's thinking, okay, that could work. So she goes to a gas station to get the gas to burn down the church. And I'm just thinking, this Miami Police Department, yes, they've missed a lot of key things in this series, but all they had to do was look around the area, and if they saw the security tapes and seen Deborah just pumping gas right near the church that burned down, this whole thing could have been over. But of course they don't. So Deborah helps Dexter burn down the church, and we think everything's okay, except you know how Dexter always cuts the person's face and takes a little blood slide. Well, he does that, and he drops it down a drain at the church. So I'm instantly thinking, oh man, this is going to be something big for this season. And of course it is. The next day during the investigation, when they're all there, LaGuerta finds the blood slide. So already we know this has ties to the Bay Harbor Butcher. So I'm just thinking, man, once Deborah finds out about that, holy crap, I mean, she's going to know he could be the Bay Harbor Butcher. But there's a lot more that has to do with that later. So anyways, Mike, the guy they brought in, the cop, I think he was from Chicago for last season. He's driving down the road, and he sees this guy who's having car trouble. And he offers to help the guy, and the guy's like, no, I got it. And Mike's like, I'm a cop, it's okay. He pops the guy's trunk, sees a dead body. So this guy pulls out a gun and shoots Mike. First episode of this season, Mike's gone. He's out. And the next day, during that investigation, Dexter's taking the fingerprints of it. They find out the girl's a stripper. She worked at this Ukrainian nightclub. And Dexter looks the guy up on his computer and finds out his name is Victor Boskov, I believe. And he checks his apartment, finds out he's going to get a plane back to the Ukraine. And he goes and he meets the guy at the airport. He takes him in the bathroom, hits him with the tranquilizer, and then he kills him in the baggage area. But he doesn't have all his tools and stuff, so it was actually pretty gruesome. He just kind of puts a plastic bag on the guy's head and just bashes him with a fire extinguisher. So he kills this guy, and he goes to dump the body and everything. And meanwhile, Deborah is just, she's got all these thoughts in her mind. She gets the file on the ice truck killer. She's looking at the photos, and she's remembering when she was strapped to the table by the ice truck killer. And looking at the pictures that's coming back to her, it's the exact same setup that Dexter had Travis Marshall in. So she knows the ice truck killer was Dexter's brother. And it's way too much of a coincidence for her, obviously. So she's got all these questions going on. Also, Jamie, the babysitter for Dexter, her boyfriend, the guy who makes video games, was snooping around Dexter's computer, and then we see him close Dexter's credit card accounts. And I find this guy to be really annoying. I hope Dexter kills him off soon. But anyways, all of this other stuff's going on. Of course, LaGuerta has the slide, and she's trying to put that together. And Deborah is leaving work, and she sees Masuka working for Dexter. And he says, yeah, I'm going to work late. Dexter said he'd come in early, so I'm going to stay late for him. So she's like, okay, where the hell does Dexter have to be? So she calls his house, and Jamie answers. She's like, where's Dexter? And Jamie says, he's working late. So Deborah's like, does that happen a lot? And she says, yeah, he works crazy hours. So she knows Dexter's already lying about where he is tonight. And I'm just thinking, how has this not already happened? How has no one called and Dexter not been there and not at work and they find out he's lying? How has no one ever had this happen already? So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of crazy, but... So, Deborah knows something's going on here. And Dexter's dumping the body. And when he gets back to his apartment, he opens the door. And the apartment's torn apart. And Deborah's sitting in front of him. In front of his blood slides, the knives, and the prosthetic arm that belonged to the ice truck killer. So she knows. She knows everything. Well, she doesn't know everything. She just knows Dexter has some crazy shit in his house. And she asks him, are you a serial killer? Did you kill all these people? And he says, yes. And that was it. That was the end of this season. Or end of this episode. So I'm thinking, man, this is going to be huge. And Dexter also has this little travel bag with passports, money, and all types of stuff in case he has to make a getaway. He's been carrying it around in case Deborah, keeps asking him questions. So he may try to take off, but I don't think so. I don't know if that's going to play into anything. I think it does have something to do with the credit cards because it showed some type of future vision type thing. And I don't know if it was Dexter just imagining, but it showed the cards being declined. I don't know. It was kind of confusing, but anyways, this is going to be a big season. And this whole Ukrainian thing, the Ukrainian mob is going to be the villain. You know how every season has to have a big villain? Like they had the Skinner, I can't remember the name of that group. I think it was season 6, maybe season 5. They were like the voodoo gang, and they would cut people's heads off. But every season has a big villain, and it's supposed to be this Ukrainian mob. And I don't know, I have heard that they may want to do this in a 2-part season. Like have this season go on and then continue it next year with this whole mob storyline. And I'm not too crazy about that idea, having to wait a whole nother year for the conclusion. But if it's really well done, I'm fine with it. I'm going to keep an open mind because I'm willing to see what they can do because it is, a great show. And I don't think they're going to disappoint with a 2-part season. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to wrap it up this year or not. So anyways, that was the first episode. A lot of crazy stuff here with Deborah finding out about Dexter. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. I think that's everything. But yes, this was a very good premiere episode. I'm really looking forward to where they're going to go with this. And it's just a great show. If you haven't watched it, definitely check out Dexter. However, you really, really should start with season 1. You don't want to jump into this in the middle. You're going to do yourself a huge favor if you just watch every episode from the beginning. So anyways, that's my review of the first episode. I'll be doing these every single Sunday right after I watch the show. So I hope you guys like this video. Leave your thoughts on this episode in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye.